Hey folks, Deano here again. This time taking a look at more X-Men figures. This is an X-Men 2-pack from Hasbro's Marvel Legends line. This is Storm and Marvel's Thunderbird. I'll give you an immediate hint. One of these figures is better than the other. Yeah. Basically, without... I'm sorry, I can't tell you why I'm reviewing this without ruining the surprise of episode 6 of the X-Men 97 series. But yeah, if you don't want spoilers, you don't want to watch this video. So yeah, basically, at the end of episode 6, Storm not only gets her powers back, after having lost them in episode 2 to the Executioner, but she also makes a new suit. And can you guess which one she goes with? That's right, it's this one, which in my opinion is probably her best suit like ever. I know these are from the Giant X-Men comics from the 70s, but yeah, there's just something about the black outfit on Storm that really works. But yeah, I think it contrasts the white hair, frankly. But yeah, I loved the white outfit from the 90s. It was what I grew up with. But the moment I saw that she'd changed to this one, I immediately went out and bought this 2-pack. Which I think it's sold out now, unfortunately, but Amazon had this 2-pack at 25 quid direct from them. I don't know if they managed to get a random shipment of it, because this is a 2-pack from 2020. This is a few years old now, and it's also highly sought after purely because of that Storm. So yeah, if you were lucky enough to get that 2-pack, good on you. Unfortunately, it's quite difficult to get a hold of normally. So yeah, let's get them off the turntable and take a look at the box, shall we? So yeah, this is actually the back of the box, which has some beautiful artwork on it, to be honest. That's probably the best Storm's ever looked. And there's a little bit of glare there. Let's see. There we go. But yeah, Storm looks amazing. Thunderbird looks good, I suppose. I'll be completely honest. I have zero attachment to this character. I know he becomes, is it Warpath? Later on down the line. This is his standard look. And I believe he even marries Storm in the Giant X-Men comics. Again, I could be getting that completely wrong. The comics from the 70s are before my time. I was a 90s kid. Well, late 80s, early 90s. So I grew up with those outfits. But because I knew of this outfit purely because of how iconic it was for Storm. Probably one of her best looks, as I said. But yeah, back of the box looks good. There's not much else to say about it. There we go. The front was literally just the clamshell showing Storm and Thunderbird and all the accessories. Marvel Legends on the top. So yeah, let's take a look at the accessories. And by accessories, I mean Storm's accessories, because Thunderbird comes with absolutely nothing. So basically, Hasbro went all out with this 2-pack. Well, they went all out with one of the figures in the 2-pack. But yeah, Storm comes with a lot of accessories, and I mean a lot. In terms of like what Hasbro does anyway. So she comes with a pair of fists and the normal hair and the down cape. She also comes with a pair of posy hands for when she does her lightning. She also has a pair of hands specifically for the lightning. The lightning is attached to the hands. Unfortunately, she has some weird sort of sculpt work on the hands. If Hasbro would have painted these properly, which they never have, whenever these hands are in with a storm, I think they've done them a few times, usually in yellow. For some reason they're blue in this one. But yeah, you can see the sculpt for the lightning actually goes up the hands, but Hasbro in their wisdom have just painted them skin tone, which makes them look like tumours, frankly. Bit of a shame, but if you're posing her, pointing them up the way, as she does tend to do, you can't see them. You can't see that sculpt, thankfully, because the sculpt on the bottom is normal. So yep, she comes with those. She comes with an extra flowing cape, which is very nice. I would have, to be honest, I would have preferred a cloth cape, because in a lot of the shots with Storm, the cape is actually attached to her wrists. Even in the 97 show, when they show it off, it's attached to her wrist. But yeah, these are close enough. You can kind of futz it and make it look as if it's attached to her wrist, if you do it right. But yeah, it looks nice. The yellow paintwork could be a bit better, but it's not really something you're going to notice from afar. And finally, she comes with an alternate head, which has so much hair, it's insane. And she's also a bit angry. She is lightning in this form. Yeah, looks really nice. There's a bit of a dark wash on the hair for both heads. She actually comes in the package, surprisingly enough, with the lightning hands, the flowing cape, and this head attached. This is the alternate look, which is a bit strange. They could have saved a bit of space in the package if they would have packaged it the other way around, but hey yo. But yeah, nothing for Thunderbird whatsoever. Like, the Thunderbird is clearly an afterthought in this pack. So yeah, let's take a look at the figures now, shall we? So yeah, we'll quickly get Thunderbird out the way, since I have no attachment to him, and quite frankly, the figure is laughable. Like, this is probably one of the worst figures they've produced, and that's saying something. I mean, it's not terrible, but it's not great. The figure feels like mid-2000s gummy Marvel Legends, if that makes any sense to people. Yeah, the legs are soft plastic, the joints are soft, like, even the head, like, look at the state of that. Why is it so far up on the neck? Like, so he can look upwards? Like, he can't even look up right. But he has on a ball joint. That's actually really loose. It's literally just flopping there. Yeah, the red on his emblem is a darker shade than it should be compared to everything else. Why? You literally had to paint the red on the rest of the body. Why is the red on his chest a different colour to the rest of it? I don't understand. Like, it's as if, like, when they were designing this 2-pack, they were like, we want to put out the perfect storm, but we want people to pay over the odds. What can we do? Let's half-ass a Thunderbird figure, one that hardly anybody cares about, hardly anybody knows about at this point. Like, yeah, we can make extra money out of that. Like, seriously, this figure's so much of an afterthought, it's laughable. The gauntlets and the belt are a nice shade of gold at least. They're not even painted though; they're just plastic. So yeah, yeah. There's no redeeming qualities about this figure whatsoever. Even the tassels that they put on him, they don't fit properly. Like this one, you can see the bicep through the top, and the bottom ones, I had to literally wrestle with them to get them above the boot. Like they were just sitting on the shoe section. Let's be honest, I am glad I don't have any attachment to this figure, because I would probably be quite angry at how much they completely neglected him, to be completely honest. And he doesn't even come with a pair of fists. Like, he's just got open palm hands to hold absolutely nothing. So yeah, let's get that abomination out of the way and take a look at the actual star of this 2-pack. At the 25 quid mark, I basically just paid for Storm, so he's a freebie. That's how I'm judging it anyway. But yeah, the details on her costume are really, really good. Only issue is the what is that called? The buckle is yellow instead of gold. They could have spared a little bit of gold paint, sorry. But apart from that, it's good. The head is nicely sculpted and printed. I like the crown. And yeah, just like the alternate head, there's a bit of a dark wash to the hair, so it's not just bright white. So yeah. One thing I will say is, a lot of the times, does this outfit not have gold buckles or gold gauntlets on her wrists? I'm not really sure why the black here. Maybe they just didn't want to use yellow paint. I keep mixing those two up in this review. But yeah, some slight sloppiness to the brown paint used on the abdomen section. But apart from that, it's a really nice looking figure. Like, I agree with people who reviewed it at the time. This is probably the best Storm figure Hasbro have ever produced. And that's saying something. Like, genuinely. So yeah, let's take a look at articulation, shall we? And again, we'll get Thunderbird, as Anthony's Customs called him, out the way. So yeah, articulation. His head is on the standard ball hinge, so you can go up that far. You can go down quite a bit, but the floppiness of the neck sort of lets that down. Swivel, hinge, all the rest of it. Not entirely sure why his hair is in a constant billowing look. I mean, if it was lower on his neck, it would probably work, but it doesn't. This is an old style body, so there is no butterfly joint to speak of. Arms can get up that far. They can swivel. The shoulder actually gets in the way somewhat. Bicep swivel. He's got pins, so he's not pinless, unlike Storm. Sorry. Double joint gets just past 90. Hinge and swivel at the wrist. Gauntlet piece is a separate piece. The diaphragm joint can get back that far. It can't even really get forward that far. That's quite pitiful for that joint in particular. Go forward that far. There is a waist swivel, which is nicely hidden by the belt. Legs can go up that far. Thigh swivel can, oh my god, they can barely go out. That's as far as you'd getting. Oh, this figure was such an afterthought. It honestly was. Knees, double jointed, can get decent range, so that's something. There is a boot cut, but the way these tassels work, they're not. Yeah, they're going to end up pushing the tassels down, and you don't want that. Feet can go back that far. Can't really go forward any. And ankle pivot is decent enough. So yeah, yeah. This figure, the more I'm feeling it, feels like a bootleg. Like, it genuinely does. I know I'm being harsh on it, but it honestly deserves it. Like, it really does. The legs aren't even molded properly. Like, if you pop them into their correct position, look how far forward they go. Like, they've not been cut properly at all. So you need to pull them back a bit. Yeah, because I've not got attachment to this figure, it'll probably be going back in the box, frankly. Like, yeah, I don't even want this on my shelf. Let's get him out the way and take a look at Storm again, shall we? So, she does have a ball hinge neck. Unfortunately, the hair is quite close to her back, so she can't really look up with this hairline. She can look down a fair bit, but the hair does look a bit strange. Pivot and swivel, nice and tight. Because this is the alternate hairpiece, it's quite tight on the neck, as with all of them. Her arms, with this cape on, are slightly hindered, but not too much. She can still get them out to her sides. She can get that far before the cape gets in the way. That's about as far up as you can get with this cape. She has single jointed elbows, but it's a longer joint, so she can get a decent amount of range. Hinge and swivel at the wrist. She has a ball joint at the chest, so that can get some decent pivot side to side. She can get some range up, not too much. She can get some forward. No waist articulation to speak of, but she doesn't really need it. Legs can go up that far before they're impeded by the sculpt. Thigh rotation, she can do pretty close to the splits. Double joint at the knee. Oh, that's quite tight. And that's about as far as you can get. The sculpt is a bit shoddy there, frankly. But, I mean, this is a big leather boot, so I'll give it a pass. It's not as if she's ever crunchy anyway. And the feet are unfortunately high heels, which means getting her to stand is a bit of a chore. But they can go back that far, forward that far, and ankle pivot, which is quite bad. I think it's because of the high heels. So yeah, but all in all, still a decent figure. I do really like it, and she stands well enough once you get her into a good pose. So yeah, let me just swap out the pieces and show you what they look like on her. And just like that, that is Storm as she comes in the package, which looks really good. Like, the cape is billowing in the wind, the lightning effect, and the flowing hair. Yeah, I really, really like that. Let me just show you one more thing before we go. So if we put her normal posy hands on, this is a Lightning Collection, Power Rangers Lightning Collection effect piece. And if we pop that on like so. There we go. We can make it look as if she is summoning her powers. So yeah, guys, let me know what you guys think of this figure down in the comments below. Don't tell me about him, honestly. But yeah, guys, let me know what you think in the comments, and I'll see y'all later.